So I have the style inspiration at the middle and the ones I made with this tutorial at the sides. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alima and I'm going to be showing you how I made this trendy and stylish crop top. So here, without wasting time, I'm trying to fold my fabric. So here I've folded my fabric into two. So actually I'm making this crop top for two of my clients. We're pairing it with a baggy trouser, a long baggy trouser, as shown on the thumbnail. So here I'm trying to know the width of the fabric I'm going to use. So the thing is, I measured my client's back measurement, which was 14, and her sleeves, I mean the sleeves of the top, to where I wanted to reach, it was 12. So when you want to measure your back measurements, you make sure you divide the back measurement into two. So I divided my back measurement into two. That was 7. The back measurement I said was 14, so I divided into two. That's 7 plus 12, that's 19. So the total fabric I have there that folded was 19 inches. So after folding 19 inches, I made sure that I have enough fabric for my both clients. Enough fabric that will be enough for the front pieces. So they are of the same length, the same size. So I'm going to be cutting it the same way. So here I folded it into two. I folded it first, knowing the width of my top. Thereafter, I had to fold it twice, since I want to make it for two of my clients. So here I measured my back. So after measuring the back, I measured the sleeve length, which was 12. So therefore I measured the width of my sleeve, which was 10. I made use of 10. So after measuring 10 inches, I measured my hip. The highest measurement, the body's measurement was the hip, so that was 10. I added 5 inches, which was 15. So therefore I connected it with the sleeve measurement, then I measured it down as well, so making 15. So I'm trying to adjust it so that I won't make any mistake. So therefore I measured the length at which I want the front to be. It was 20 inches. It was 19, so I added 1.5. That was 20.5, as you can see on the screen. So I'm trying to see if everything is accurate. So I'm trying to confirm my measurement here. So I'm trying to confirm it here as well. Then I want to roll my lines in order to have a straight line. So I'm trying to connect it with the line I drew underneath. So therefore I'll make use of my scissors to cut it out as shown on the screen. So after that, I made sure I separated the two front borders. I told you I'm making it for two of my clients, so I'm trying to separate it. Mind you, mine is going to be having joining, because I told you I'm trying to manage my fabric. So this is what I have after measuring everything. So you can see I had to separate it from each other. So I have just one border. So here I'm trying to measure the neck width and neck depth. So I used 2.5 for the neck width, and for the neck depth I made use of 2 inches. So it's what I'm actually doing here is not really compulsory. You just need the neck width, not the neck depth, because it's the front. Sure you get. So, and it's actually a kimono neck at the front. So I'm just going to measure 2.5, then take it down like a slanted line. I don't really need the neck depth. I just need the neck width. This is actually my first time doing this anyway, so just bear with me. In fact, I'm very nervous doing this. I'm a very, very shy person, so I just thought of sharing this because it's actually a trendy style. So I'm also going to repeat the same thing with the second front bodice here. I'm a very, very shy person. I'm so sorry. So kindly manage my voice this way. So I'm trying to shape the neck for the second front bodice. Remember, I'm trying to manage my fabric, and I'm making this style for two of my clients. Sure you get. So I'm going to try to identify the wrong side from the right side using the chalk. So I'm going to just paint the front side with the chalk. So here I'm trying to fold the back of the dress. So here as well, I'm going to be making use of two back borders. Since I cut out two front borders, I'm going to make use of two back borders too as well. So I'm trying to know the width of the fabric I'm going to be using as well. So in order to cut it out, then measure the back borders. If you could remember, the front, according to the thumbnail, the style inspiration, the front is actually shorter than the back, meaning it's high-low. So on the thumbnail, the style inspiration on the thumbnail is the one I came across on the Instagram that prompted me to make this. So the one by the left and by the right was the one I made here. So I've made this a lot. So I just feel like let me just share this one. So the difference between the front and the back here is 5 inches. I made use of 5 inches. Yeah, I made use of 5 inches. I made use of 5 inches. So had it been the front is 19, so the back is going to be 24. Then I had my sewing allowance too as well. I think I made it of 4 inches or 5 inches. So it depends on what you want. So I wanted mine to be very smart and not too bulky, something simple and nice for my client. So because they don't really have a big body like that. So and I added the sewing allowance at the bottom. I'm trying to connect the lines at the front to the back. So remember, the neck width I used was 2.5. So don't forget that. So I'm trying to cut it out in order to measure the remaining measurements for the back. So I'm trying to adjust everything here. Thereafter, I'm trying to cut it out. So I'm cutting out the back piece. So now I'm done cutting out the back piece. So I'm going to separate the front piece from the back piece because I don't need it anymore. So I'm going to be making use of 2.5 by 2 inch. So it depends on you actually, but make sure you don't make it too deep. So after that, I'm going to show you what I did next. I really want to show you. So this is it. So I placed the front, the left side of the front, then the right side of the front together so that you see how it looks like. You can see? Can you see that now? You can see how nice it is even without stitching it yet. So I'm going to show you after stitching. Okay, so before I show you that, so I'm trying to cut the pockets, because if you check out the style, it has two side pockets, two front pockets rather. So I'm also trying to cut the flap at the front too as well. So, and if you check the thumbnails, you'll see that the flap is not going in the same direction as the crop top. So the crop top was going in a vertical direction. So when you want to cut the flap, it's going to go in an horizontal direction. So I believe it's made it more stylish and more unique, because cutting it in the same direction would just make it look kind of. So with this, I had to fold my fabric in a horizontal direction, and I make sure I measured, it's for two people, two of my clients. So I made sure it was so long. So I'm trying to cut out the the tape and the Ankara because I don't need it anyway. So it's just going to make my work not neat. So I had to just cut it out. So here I'm trying to knit it. So I made sure to measure 5" for the flap, 5" all around, 5" over there too as well. Then connected it with my ruler, then cut it out. So now I have the flap, cutting it out horizontally. Please make sure you note that so well, because the first one that I made for my clients before now, not this particular client, one like that. So I actually made a mistake. So I've learned, so I had to cut it horizontally. And so fortunately I discovered it early. If not, it would have been a bad one on me. So after doing that, I'm trying to show you guys how long it is. So you can see it's so long. I think that particular flap is folded into two. So I want to cut the front pocket. So you make sure you cut the front pocket. Note that whenever you want to cut the front pocket too, you cut it in an horizontal direction too as well. So it made it more stylish and beautiful when you cut it. It makes it come out, when a particular side the material is facing a vertical direction and the pocket is facing horizontal. It makes it more noticeable anyway. So I'm trying to I measured 9" for the width, and for the length I made use of 10.5. So I made use of 10.5. I made use of 9" 10.5 for that. So I'm trying to get my pocket right here because I don't want to make any mistakes. This is a DIY thing, so I just feel it's very trendy. Like, why not just put this out for people to see and make it easy for everyone? So hey, am I doing that for you? I don't need thank you. So I'm glad doing this because I'm a very shy person, so I feel this can make me come out of my shell by doing this. So if you want me to show you how I made the pants, kindly let me know in the comment section. So I'm going to cut the second one. Well, I'm going to be cutting the other pocket. I mean the pocket for the second client. I'm going to be doing that off camera. So I just need to go create this, show you guys, and do the rest later. So I'm trying to cut the second front pocket. Since I've cut one of the pockets, so the second one will be very easy for me. I made sure it's also folded in horizontal direction, not vertical direction, because that's how the style inspiration is, and it's so nice being in horizontal direction. So here I've gone ahead to stitch my front piece and my back piece together. So I'm trying to show you what I did. So here it is. You can see how beautiful it is, even without interlocking it or ironing it yet. You can see how beautiful it is. So this is me doing that and arranging it so that you guys would see what I'm doing. So here I've folded my flap into two. So I told you I used 5". So 5" folded into two would give us 2.5. So here I'm trying to show you how it is. So here the neck distance for an adult is 13 inches. Any adult, 13 inches is okay. So here I'm trying to identify 13 inches there. So I've made a mark there. So I'm just going to stitch it straight down. Do you get that? So after stitching straight down, I'm going to show you how it looks like anyway. So I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to show you how the thing is going to look like after stitching. Do you see that now? Do you see? Can you see that now? So I've stitched the down part of the pocket too as well. I'm trying to show you how it's going to look like. You can see it's so stylish and it brings out the fabric more. I mean the style. It brings it out very more rather than making it in the same direction. So I'm going to sew everything together. So here I've done that. I've added my brand name to it. I told them I'm making it for my brand, for my clients. So I've added my brand name, my tag rather. So I've joined that flap to the bodies. I've also gone ahead to hem the down part of it as well, and I've gone ahead to also stitch the pockets together. So here I want to stitch the pockets to the front piece, not the back piece. So I'm going to measure 2.5, then 5 inches. 5 inch. The distance between the flap to where the pocket will start is 2.5. Then the height at which the pocket is going to be 5 inches. I hope you just get that. I don't know how to say this other than that. So I'm also going to measure 2.5 at the other side too as well, then 5 inch as well. So I'm trying to adjust it so that you guys are going to see it. So I've also gone ahead to hem the sleeve of the top too as well. So then I'm going to open when I want to stitch the pockets. I'm not going to stitch the two opening, just the back, the opening at the back. You know, when you open the pocket, there'll be front and back. So I'm just going to stitch the back. Look at that place. So I'm going to stitch the back only to the front. I'm going to stitch the sides.
Sorry,
I hope you
mean
understand
the distance
that.
between the
So then I'm going to
collar,
also
not the
stitch
flap.
the sides too as well, and overlock everything, then iron
So
it
sorry about
neatly.
that.
So I'm going to
So
show you how
collar,
this stuff looks like. It
not
looks
flap.
so nice and perfect. So let me show you that. So this is how it looks like after stitching the pockets, the sides, everything, and ironing it. Look at how it looks like it's so beautiful. You can see that was what I was telling you the other time. You can see how stylish it looks. So thank you for watching. If you want me to show you how I made the pants trouser, so let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much. This is the first time I'm doing this. Seriously, I've been procrastinating in posting videos on this YouTube. Like, it's been long I've been procrastinating. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe if you want me to keep posting and posting and posting. I have lots of videos on my phone. Like, I do have lots of videos, but I'm so nervous to post them. Thank you so much. Bye.